drilling,
Yep, absolutely.
natural gas,
Yep.
nuclear.
Yep. Couldn't agree more. And the full range of green technologies, as long as they're developed in the free marketplace. You know, what I don't want to see is the federal government trying to choose winners. I don't want to see our federal government entering into treaties internationally that put us at risk or pay compensation to other countries for things that are not our fault. And I don't want to see us taxed to death for the sake of trying again to sort of pick which industries or which energy generating sources somehow meet a certain set of legislative criteria. That's wrong. I agree with you. Absolutely.
Do you think all of the, going back to that, everything that relates to energy, all of the above approach
Yes,
is correct?
absolutely.
And we should get rid of all the restrictions
I
on
think,
businesses?
yeah, I firmly believe in an all of the above approach, absolutely. And I think we need to think very carefully about regulatory issues. You know, there may be some that are legitimate in various ways, and I think we need to look at communities in that way as well. Again, you know, we want to empower our citizens. You know, if Orange County doesn't feel that a certain type of energy generation might be right for Orange County, I'd like Orange County to be able to make that decision. Or if they feel it would be right for Orange County, then I'd like them to be able to make that decision. But yes, all the above, absolutely, through the marketplace. Yes, ma'am.
What is your opinion of school choice? I don't know if it was talked about, I came in late.
No, it wasn't, but I am in favor of school choice. And I'm the product of public schools, and so is my husband. And both of my sons are also public school boys. And I am very grateful to my teachers. I had the most wonderful teachers you can imagine, and I revere them. But I think that school choice is the right of American citizens.
How do you think we should go about it?
Well, I think voucher ideas definitely have validity.
There's also an organization called the Freedom of Education, and they got very close to passing in New York State several times.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's a little bit different in that it gives everyone a choice of what to do with their school taxes, as opposed to just vouchers, which is the parent of a child that goes to a public school. This gives a grandparent, a neighbor, a choice to say, this is what I want to do with my money. I'd rather it go to this Montessori school down the street or this Catholic school down the street. So I think that gives everyone a choice, not just the parents.
I'd certainly be willing to think about that kind of legislation. I'm not sure, again, on the federal level, that may be something that would be more of a specific to New York State, but I'd certainly love to hear more about it.
The new governor of New Jersey,
Chris Christie, yeah. And I think
and that will affect New York.
No, the choice and competition are what made us the nation we are.
Absolutely.
Personal responsibility, choice, competition, integrity, doing what's right, and allowing our citizens to do what's right, and not guaranteeing results, but guaranteeing the opportunity in safety and freedom. That's what our Constitution is about. But we need to remember the responsibility piece of it, and I think that's one of the things that's been forgotten, and that's one of the reasons we have the problems we do. We need to allow our citizens to have those choices and to be able to take responsibility. Yes, John.
I want to ask you about a hot button issue. I know everybody's got an opinion, everybody's got a position, abortion.
Yeah. I am pro-choice with stipulations, and I have talked with the Hudson Valley Coalition for Life. I have many friends and supporters who are pro-choice. I am not pro-abortion. I do not want to see that procedure used as birth control. I think it should be safe and rare. I am opposed to late-term procedures unless the life of the mother is in jeopardy. I am in favor of parental notification and consent. And I am in favor as well of the Stupak Amendment. Should I be asked to vote on such a matter? Again, I hope not to be voting. I would vote against the national health care scheme, but the Stupak Amendment would have to be part of that.
Well, to stay with that idea. Would you go with, confirming the Supreme Court justice that was very staunch conservative originally?
Yeah, I would have no trouble confirming the original justice, that would be fine.
So Leah believes that it shouldn't have gone to the
Right.
Constitution. It's not in the Constitution.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg actually feels that way too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Interestingly enough, yes, I've heard her speak, and I was surprised. I'm not sure, she might not have gone quite that far in making a statement, but she did say that, that this is a matter that should have been left appropriate.
It should go back to the state.
It should go back, so,
So,
I would not have trouble confirming an original justice, and, I'm a fan of justice.
As far as creating jobs, I just heard recently they're going to expand the free trade agreements now with other countries, with Brazil, Costa Rica. Hasn't the politicians seen that it's not working? It's costing us jobs here, and we're not getting. They're not importing from us. Obama says the answer is to double our export. What? We don't make anything here. What are we going to double? Nobody enforces the antitrust laws, as this gentleman brought up before, including Bush. We should have stopped these profitable mergers. We made these big monsters like ExxonMobil, Chevron, Texaco. All those companies were all profitable on their own, like we did back in the years with telephone. They made American Tel divest. And I don't know why there's not stopping this. It's costing us jobs. Pfizer and White Labs just merged, costing thousands of jobs. A lot of people in Orange County. You know, nobody enforces the antitrust laws. Are you in favor of that, or?
I think it's foreign trade is something that definitely affects our economy. It's enormously complicated because it does have to do with the network, as you know, of trade agreements that are administered through the executive branch, and they have to be approved in various ways by the legislative branch. So the legislator, we don't always have an immediate opportunity to change trade agreements, but just going back to the first principle, the number one thing I think that we need to do to keep ourselves competitive, irrespective of mergers even, is to empower our private marketplace. And I think the number one drag, the ball and chain on American industry and on American exports is the fact that our federal government confiscates too much of what we produce at every level. And I think if we allowed the incredible brains and hearts and muscles, the power of the American people in the free marketplace to do what they do best, I think we'd inherently be a lot more competitive. Americans are the smartest, most innovative, most competitive people on the face of the planet. And I think that the number one thing we need to do is get the government off their backs to the maximum extent we can. This federal government has been weighing us down ever more. And they've really gotten to the point where, they're going to break it. So that's the number one thing, sir, I think that we need to do first and foremost is stop the government spending, confiscating and spending your money. And if we allow it back into our marketplace, I think we'll be much more competitive. Yes, sir?
Hey, why do you tell a student that's ready to go to college? My son comes to me and says, what should I major in?
Yes, sir.
Political science, son. Political science is the answer.
Great question. I have two sons. One is 19 and in college now, and the other 17, junior in high school. Their birthdays are next week, actually. They're going to be 19 and 17. The answer that my parents gave me was to, in essence, to follow your heart and your talents. I'd like to think that's still the case. What I've told my sons is that, I want them to be, my goal for them as a parent is for them to be good people and good citizens, good productive citizens, who won't depend on the state for their livelihood, or think or assume that they can depend on the state for their livelihood.